everyone, welcome back for another deep dive. You know how much we love getting into the nitty-gritty of interesting topics, and today is no exception. We're going to be talking about something that I think is super relevant to pretty much anyone and everyone who wants to improve their social skills.
It's something we all struggle with.
Especially if you ever get that inner critic in your head that kind of holds you back from really connecting with people.
Yeah.
So we found some really fascinating source material that dives deep into the psychology of quieting that self-doubt and really building genuine confidence. And it's specifically targeted toward interactions with women, but honestly, I think the insights here are universal.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
I mean, it's all about rewiring those automatic thought patterns that can sabotage us, before we even start a conversation.
Mm-hmm.
And a lot of that comes down to shifting your focus outward, which is a technique that goes beyond just basic politeness.
Okay, so it's not just smiling and nodding, but really engaging.
Exactly.
Oh,
it's about really being present and interested in the other person.
Yeah. Yeah, what really stood out to me was this emphasis on active listening. But it's even more than that. It's almost like reading between the lines of what someone is saying.
It's true. Like becoming an emotional detective.
Ooh.
The source material dives into things like microexpressions and, subtle shifts in body language that can reveal a person's true feelings, even if their words are saying something different.
Yeah.
So you can practice noticing those subtle cues, like, for instance, the way someone's eyes might light up when they're truly engaged in a conversation.
That's really interesting. It's almost counterintuitive, though, right?
How so?
Because you think, okay, if I'm focused on myself, am I saying the right things? Am I coming across the right way? That's going to make me more confident. But this material argues the exact opposite.
Yeah, because hyper-focusing on yourself actually just increases that self-doubt.
Oh.
It creates this feedback loop where you become more self-conscious, less present, and ultimately less attractive to others.
Because you're in your head. So the irony is trying to appear perfect often makes you seem less genuine.
Exactly.
Huh. There's that saying, perfect is the enemy of good, right?
Yeah.
And this material takes it a step further. It actually encourages us to embrace our imperfections. And there's this example that really stuck with me. It's talking about someone who mispronounces a name, and instead of trying to hide it, they just kind of turn it into a lighthearted joke.
Oh, I love that.
Yeah.
It's such a great example of how authenticity can actually build connection. The source material argues that admitting a small mistake or showing a bit of vulnerability can actually be disarming and make you more relatable.
Makes you human.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Because it creates a space for genuine interaction, because it allows the other person to relax and be themselves too.
Yeah, so it's instead of projecting this flawless image, you come across as more approachable when you are just real.
Precisely. It's about having the confidence to say, this is me, take it or leave it. And what's interesting is that this actually ties into the psychology of attraction. People are naturally drawn to those who are comfortable in their own skin.
That makes sense.
So when you can embrace your imperfections, it makes you more magnetic.
Now, the material also talks about presence and mindfulness.
Yeah.
Which can feel kind of abstract.
Right.
It's not just about physically being in the room with someone, right?
No, it's much more than that. Think of it as mental and emotional engagement.
Okay.
The source material suggests a quick grounding exercise. Take a deep breath. Notice the sensations in your body and bring your attention to the present moment. This helps to quiet that internal chatter and allows you to truly connect with the person in front of you.
And I can see how that would also exude more confidence.
Yeah.
Because you're not distracted by your own thoughts. It's
No.
you're giving the other person your undivided attention, which is a powerful form of validation.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
And it actually creates this ripple effect. When you are present, you radiate a certain calm and confidence the other person picks up on. And it just sets the stage for a more genuine and engaging interaction.
Now, this makes me think about another point that the material makes, which is about avoiding validation seeking.
Oh, they're the big one.
Yeah, what does that really mean in a practical sense?
It means not constantly fishing for compliments or trying to prove yourself.
Okay.
Imagine you're telling a story, instead of ending it with, was that funny? You just own your narrative.
Got it.
You trust that you're interesting, and you let the other person react authentically.
So it's about that inner confidence.
Exactly. When you're comfortable in your own skin, you don't need constant reassurance.
Right.
And this self-assuredness allows you to relax and enjoy the interaction without putting pressure on yourself or the other person.
So we've talked about focus, perfection, presence, avoiding validation seeking. I'm sensing a theme here.
What's that?
It's almost like they're all pieces of the same puzzle.
You're definitely picking up on something important.
Okay.
All of these elements work together to create a sense of genuine confidence that draws people in. And that's where the concept of leading the interaction comes into play.
Okay, so it's not about dominating the conversation or being the life of the party?
Not at all. Think of it more as guiding the flow like a dance.
Okay.
The source material uses the analogy of a sailboat. You know, you're not controlling the wind, but you can adjust your sails to navigate in a certain direction.
I like that.
It's about having the confidence to subtly steer the conversation toward topics you both find engaging.
And this takes us right back to active listening.
Exactly.
Because you can't really lead the interaction effectively if you're not truly engaged in what the other person is saying.
That's where the magic happens, you know, when you can listen deeply, understand the other person's perspective, and then gently guide the conversation in a way that builds connection. You create a truly dynamic and enjoyable experience for both of you.
I love that.
Yeah, it's a beautiful dance
It is.
when it works.
Yeah, and it all starts with that quieting the inner critic.
Absolutely, that's the foundation.
Yeah. All right, so let's dive into some more specific examples and strategies from the source material.
Let's do it.
You know, it's interesting how leading the interaction can be so subtle. Like, I'm thinking back to the source material's point about playful banter. Like, it's not about dominating with jokes, but just using humor to kind of keep that energy light and engaging.
Right.
It reminds me of, you know, when people debate like pineapple on pizza.
Oh, yeah.
It's just a classic way to kind of like tease and like not take things too seriously.
Yeah, what's fascinating there is that playful banter allows you to kind of test the waters, you know,
Yeah.
see if the other person is on the same wavelength.
Right.
It's a low-stakes way to gauge their sense of humor and see if you have that playful chemistry.
And what if the banter falls flat?
It's just information.
Okay.
Maybe they have a different style of humor, or maybe they're not feeling playful at that moment.
Right.
The key is to be adaptable and not get discouraged.
So you're saying it's not a failure?
No, not at all.
Okay. This makes me think about the bigger picture of vulnerability, which the source material emphasizes a lot.
Yeah.
And it's not just about owning your imperfections,
Right.
but it's about like really letting your guard down in a way that allows for deeper connection.
That's a crucial distinction. Vulnerability isn't about oversharing or being emotionally needy.
Okay.
It's about selective, strategic revealing of yourself.
Interesting.
Like there's this great example in the source where someone shares a simple childhood memory,
Oh, yeah.
something that creates a sense of shared humanity without being overly personal.
Right. So it's still like within boundaries.
Exactly.
I like that it's framed as strategic. It's
Yeah.
about choosing the right moment and the right level of depth
Yeah.
to create that sense of trust and intimacy.
Exactly. And this actually ties back to the idea of confidence because it takes self-assurance to be vulnerable. When you're secure in yourself, you're not afraid to show your true colors, even if it means risking rejection.
That's deep. Now, the material also dives into nonverbal communication,
Yes.
which is huge.
It's massive.
It's not just about what you say, but how you say it.
Think of it as the symphony of your communication.
Oh, okay.
Your words are the melody,
Yeah.
but your body language,
Yeah.
your tone of voice, your facial expressions, these are the instruments that create the full, rich experience.
So what are some key instruments we should be tuning?
Well, open posture is crucial.
Okay.
Imagine someone with crossed arms versus someone leaning in, making eye contact,
Yeah.
who seems more approachable and engaging.
The one leaning in, for sure.
Exactly. It's like they're saying, I'm interested in what you have to say.
Right. And a genuine smile goes a long way.
Huge.
It's like a beacon of warmth and approachability.
But it has to be authentic.
Right.
People can sense a forced smile a mile away.
Yeah, totally. So if we're like bringing all these elements together,
Yeah.
the active listening, the playful banter, the vulnerability, the strong nonverbal communication, it really paints a picture of what authentic confidence looks like.
You've hit the nail on the head. It's not about arrogance or trying to be the loudest voice in the room.
Right.
It's about being comfortable in your own skin, being present, and engaging with others in a way that feels genuine and fulfilling.
And that takes practice, right?
Absolutely.
It's not like you wake up one day and suddenly you're a social butterfly.
Think of it as a muscle you're developing.
Okay.
The more you consciously practice these skills, the more natural they become.
Right.
You might start by simply noticing your body language. Then work on asking more engaging questions. then try incorporating a bit of playful banter into your conversations.
Just small steps.
Exactly.
So it's about building up that confidence muscle gradually, pushing yourself outside of your comfort zone in small, manageable ways.
And as you become more comfortable with these skills, you'll start to see a shift in your interactions.
Okay.
People will be more drawn to you, conversations will flow more easily, and you'll find yourself feeling more confident and at ease in social situations.
You know, it's fascinating how this material brings in so much psychology
Right.
into what we often think of as just like being social.
Yeah.
It's not just about surface level charm.
It runs deeper.
It's about understanding the deeper mechanics of connection.
That's what makes this so empowering.
Yeah.
It's not about tricks or manipulation,
Right.
but about using these insights to create more authentic and fulfilling connections with the people around us.
It's like we're decoding the secret language of human interaction.
I love that analogy.
And the best part is everyone has the potential to become fluent in this language.
Absolutely.
It just takes a willingness to learn and a commitment to practice.
That's it.
You know, this deep dive is really shifting my perspective.
In a way.
Instead of like dreading those awkward silences or feeling like I need to perform,
Yeah.
I'm starting to see social interaction as an opportunity for connection and growth.
That's a wonderful insight. And remember, even small changes can make a big difference. You don't have to overhaul your entire personality overnight.
Right.
Start with one small step, like making more eye contact or asking a follow-up question to show you're listening.
I love that taking baby steps towards building a more confident and connected self.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And as you continue to practice and refine these skills, you'll be amazed by the positive impact it has on your life, both personally and professionally.
You know, it strikes me that this material, while it focuses on interactions with women, really offers insights that can benefit anyone who's looking to, like, you know, improve their social skills.
Yeah.
Like, it's a masterclass in decoding human connection, regardless of gender.
You've hit on a key point. While the examples might focus on a specific dynamic, the underlying principles are universal.
Yeah.
You know, the need to feel heard, to connect authentically, to build trust.
Right.
These are fundamental human desires that transcend any specific relationship type.
It makes me think about how often we get caught up in our own heads,
Oh, yeah, all the time.
worrying about how we're being perceived,
Yeah.
instead of just like focusing on the other person and being present in the moment.
It's like we're constantly trying to perform instead of simply connecting.
Yeah.
And the source material encourages us to kind of let go of that need for control and embrace the beautiful messiness of human interaction.
There's a real sense of freedom in that.
There is.
It's like taking off a mask and allowing ourselves to be seen for who we truly are,
Absolutely.
flaws and all.
And that authenticity is what allows for genuine connection to occur.
Right.
When we can be ourselves without pretense or the need to impress,
Yeah.
we create a space for others to do the same.
It makes me think back to the point about embracing imperfection. It's
Yeah.
not about striving for some unattainable ideal.
Right.
It's about recognizing that our quirks and vulnerabilities are what make us unique and relatable.
And those imperfections are often the starting point for the most interesting conversations.
Yeah.
You know, they provide a glimpse into our shared humanity,
Mm.
reminding us that we're all in this together,
Yeah.
navigating the ups and downs of life.
This deep dive has been such an eye-opener.
I'm glad.
It's given me a whole new perspective on how to approach social interactions with more confidence and intention.
I'm so glad to hear that. And remember, it's not about memorizing a set of rules or techniques.
Right.
It's about embodying these principles in a way that feels authentic to you.
It's about integrating these insights into our lives
Yeah.
and allowing them to shape the way we connect with the world around us.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And as you continue to practice and refine these skills, you'll find that social interactions become less about performance
Right.
and more about genuine connection.
So as we wrap up this deep dive,
Yeah.
what's one key takeaway you'd like our listeners to remember?
I would encourage everyone listening to consider this. What's one small step you can take today
Okay.
to shift your focus outward and be more present in your interactions? Perhaps it's putting your phone away during a conversation,
Yeah.
making genuine eye contact, or simply asking a follow-up question to show you're truly listening.
Those are great.
Little things can make a big difference.
It's about making a conscious effort to engage with the people around us
Yeah,
on a deeper level.
on a deeper level,
Yeah.
even in the smallest of interactions.
And as you do that,
Mm-hmm.
you'll likely find that your relationships become more fulfilling, your conversations more engaging,
Right.
and your overall sense of confidence begins to soar.
Absolutely.
This has been such an insightful and inspiring conversation.
Oh, thank you.
Thank you for sharing your expertise with us today.
It's been my pleasure.
And to all our listeners out there, remember, building confidence and mastering the art of social interaction is a journey, not a destination.
So true.
Embrace the process, be patient with yourself, and most importantly, have fun connecting with the world around you.
Couldn't have said it better myself.
Until next time, keep exploring, keep growing, and keep diving deep.